Hey, founders, thank you for being here. I know you're on the wake up call page. You're taking a look at the challenge. You're seeing if it's a fit for you. I appreciate you taking a moment or two to watch this video, and I'm hoping that this video will inspire you into action, specifically because it will give you a framework of why the wake up call is so important for you personally. My name is Tanya. I am the founder and CEO of Nail the Numbers. I'm also the coach that will work with you for the 5 days of the Wake Up Call Challenge. I work with you live every morning. I show up for you where we discuss each step of the challenge in a group environment. So here's why I do this. This is really important. It is because the vast majority of founders are financially compromised. They're financially vulnerable. And it wasn't COVID that caused the financial vulnerability. I know, I can hear everybody going, wait a minute, right? But here's the reality of the situation. Before COVID hit, the average Canadian was $27,000 in consumer debt. They were saving less than 3% of their take-home pay, and there was a $13.4 trillion deficit for retirement needs come 2035. That was pre-COVID. COVID didn't cause that. COVID just exposed that. The other reason why I know founders are vulnerable is because as a lender, I have had the opportunity to review thousands of credit reports. And the credit reports don't lie. The credit reports you see behind the curtain, and you see just how fragile a founder's financial situation is at home. So I say this not to guilt or shame. I share this because this is the reality that many of you are facing. And hey, I get it. I've been there. I had to declare insolvency in 2009. So I'm not sitting on a high horse saying, I've got it all figured out. I am saying that after 2009, I did figure it out. And that's what I want to share with you here. So before we actually get into business finances, it is so important that we take care of our personal finances. Most of you have built a business on a shaky financial foundation at home. You've cashed in savings. You have cashed in your investments, maybe your RRSPs, your TFSAs, right? I don't know what you've done there, but I also know that many of you, if you've secured debt in the last little while, you've likely attached a promissory note to it, which is a legal document that says that in the event that the business can't repay the business loan, you are personally liable to get that money repaid. So again, vulnerability on top of vulnerability. So here's 3 wake-up calls. 3 wake-up numbers that I want you to become aware of, because I'm hoping that these are going to be game changers for you going forward. Did you hear the collar shake in the back? This is not being edited. This is so important. I want you to know that when I show up real and authentic. So here's 3 really important numbers that I want you to take ownership of and get a better sense of where you stand with them. The first is your current return on investment. So most of you are thinking like a small business owner. You are not thinking like an investor. And your business is actually an investment. Right? Let that just sink in for a second. Your business is an investment. You have invested time and money into an entity, into a vehicle that is likely not paying off. So how do you determine the return on investment? Quick and dirty math. I want you to take your net profit, AKA net earnings. It's your bottom line. It's your sales minus your direct costs minus your operating costs equals your net profit. You take that net profit and you divide it by your total sales. So as an example, $2,000 net profit divided by $100,000 total sales would give you a 2% net profit. Everybody follow along on that math? You take your net profit, you divide it by your total sales equals your total net profit as a percentage. That percentage is the equivalent of your return on investment. Why did I use 2%? Because we know at Nail the Numbers, 87% of founders are generating less than a 2% return, net profit. So here's the thing. If you look at your savings account at your bank, you might be getting 1.79% as a return on any money that you're putting into a savings account. No time investment there. You could take all of your investment of time and money that you put into a business, and this, I hope, is the wake-up call for you, so I'm going to slow it down. You take that money, let's just say it's $100,000. $100,000 of, let's say $50,000 of a capital investment for all your startup costs. And then let's say that the business hasn't been paying you a regular salary and you've been missing out on an additional 50,000. This is 50,000 that you could have been earning working for someone else. That's missed opportunity, right? It's $100,000. You could have taken that money. You could have gone to any financial institution or your advisor, and you could have asked them to put that in multitude of investment vehicles. I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not going to tell you where to invest, but from GICs to bonds to index funds, you name it, you very likely would have made more than 2%, right? Sometimes 4, 6, 7, 9, I don't know. Take a look at what your current investments are giving you on your pension funds or your RRSPs. But the point here is that your business is generating likely less than a 2% net profit. And how many hours are you actually investing into that business opportunity? Whereas if you had your financial advisor do it, you'd be investing 10, maybe 30 minutes tops, or a much greater return on investment. Okay, so that is wake up call number 1. Return on investment. I want you to think like an investor. Your business is an investment. Stop building a lousy paying job for yourself. You can't afford to. Wake up call number 2 is just how much does the business really need to pay you on a monthly basis to ensure your financial security and safety at home for you and your family. This is the work that we do in the wake up call. I'm going to leave this point here only to say that most of you are not getting fair market value for your time, let alone what the business needs to be paying you, right? You're just barely squeaking by. You're paying yourself what the business can afford to pay you when it can afford to pay you. And most of you feel guilt around that fair market salary, getting that out. Okay, so I'm going to come back to that in just a moment when we talk about the wake up call challenge itself. All right, so now the third point is this. The third point is your retirement needs shortfall. So by that, I mean, how much money are you short come the time that you want to retire? So this is work that we do in the wake up call, but here's why this is so important for you, is because we know that there's a $13.4 trillion deficit. We know that the number one trend that is funding that deficit or fueling that deficit is entrepreneurship, right? And most of you are not putting aside the funds necessary every month to make sure that that number is going to be met come the time that you need to retire. But here's what I want you to be aware of. To sit back for a moment. Let's imagine you do the wake up call challenge and we give you all the tools, which we do, to be able to actually calculate that shortfall. Let's say hypothetically that you do the math and that shortfall is $1 million. Here's what I want you to think about. Now that you know that you are short $1 million for your retirement needs, where could you make up that money? Where could you find $1 million? In your business? You can build your business into your retirement strategy. You build a business that's worth $1 million. Here's what fascinates me. I've been in the entrepreneurial ecosystem for the last 30 years. I have been teaching the mechanics of money for the last 10. And in that, no, it's longer than that now. It's 12. And in those 12 years, there have been 3 founders that have been able to articulate what they are building. They've been able to tell me, I am building a business that is worth X by this time for this group of people with this impact through these products and services. We need to get clear on what we're building if we're going to build it. When you understand your retirement shortfall, it gives you a leg up on better understanding the value that you need to build into your business, and more specifically, your bottom line. Those are the 3 wake-up calls that I hope immediately move you into action. What is your ROI? How much does the business really need to be paying you every month so that you and your family are financially secure? And what is your retirement shortfall? Because that is what should be motivating you to build your business into that deficit, that shortfall number. That is the value that you need to build. All right. Very quickly, I'm going to walk you through the 5 days. Day 1, you get real about your current financial situation. You're going to pull all your numbers out from under the carpet, behind the curtains, whatever it's going to take. And you're going to take a look at your spending needs and wants and your debt. You're going to take a look at your taxes. You're going to take a look at where you've been sharing money, where you've been holding it back. You're going to take a look at your earning, and you're going to see if you are, if you're balanced with your personal budget, or if you're in a deficit or overage position. You just get real about where you're currently at. We're not going to spend a lot of time trying to fix it, because the next 4 days we move into building the budget that you need to build, and not from a scarcity position, but from a position of being financially secure. So what does that mean? That means on day 2, we actually we take a look at all of your spending. So what do you actually need for needs, for wants, for the splurge account, and to get you out of debt in 36 months. Again, we have all the tools, we have all the calculators. We've got our debt repayment calculator. You put it all in there, your balances, your interest rates. It's going to show you what you're paying on interest, but it's also going to show you exactly what you need to pay every month to each creditor to get you out of debt in 36 months. That's day 2. Day 3, we actually start to look at your assets. So day 2 is about liabilities. Day 3 is all of your assets. So we take a look at your retirement needs. We do take a look at what assets are currently on the book, right? And we actually start to take a look at what can we start setting aside for your savings account, so that you have an emergency blanket. You've got an emergency net there to protect you in the event that something happens. We have to start rebuilding that back up. Day 4, the calculator does all the work. Day 4, it's actually going to show you that if you're allocating the right money to the right accounts, that you've got your taxes taken care of, you've got your investments taken care of, your kids' allowances taken care of, all of your spending on needs and wants and the splurges. The calculator reverse engineers all of that, and what it shows you is it shows you what we call the magic number, which is how much does the business really need to be paying you every month to ensure your financial security. That's one of those get real moments, right? But don't be afraid of that. We need to be able to see it to create it. Okay, so now once you know what you need to create, that is our day 5. Our day 5, I want to walk you through the basics of building a business budget. We won't build the business budget together, but I'm not going to leave you high and dry. I'm going to take you through a very similar process. And it's actually one of our other blueprints, which is called the Financially Fierce Formula, where we spend 3 months working together on building that business budget. But that's what you end up with the wake-up call. You're going to end up with a personal budget that's locked in, a debt repayment plan, and your retirement needs calculator. You will be so smart when it comes to your personal finances that you're going to know exactly what the business needs to pay you to make sure that you're taken care of at home. So that's what I've got for you. I hope you enroll in the Wake Up Call Challenge. I really hope I see you soon. And it is time, my friend, to become financially fierce. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.